Legal Shield, providing legal protection and peace of mind for less than $1 a day. Legal Shield can help with traffic tickets, texting and driving, DUIs, court appearances, estate planning, and even contracts given to you that you just don't understand. Plus a whole lot more. Call Legal Shield right now at 213-245-1305. That's 213-245-1305. Again, 213-245-1305, or visit them online at nocourt.us.
All right.
So the Bookmaker, Monday, the start of our 8th week here at KSHP 1400 AM.
More than 8.
9 weeks?
Turn that down just a touch. I think it's about, that's too much. Yeah. I think it's about 12, isn't it?
That's what I said, 12 weeks today. But let me ask you something. Why do you have this thing like a sauna? Usually you have like a meat locker.
Dude,
what's going on?
I didn't touch it. Hold on. I'm going to
blast the AC.
Hey, listen. You want meat locker?
Hey,
meat locker you get.
They have a new term for the Monday before the Super Bowl now. I don't know if you caught it. They call it opening night of Super Bowl week. And in the NFL, they never cease. They never stop coming up with.
It's all about money, isn't it? All about another way to generate money, isn't it?
It's called opening night of Super Bowl week, Monday night. It's amazing. Okay, man. Look, let's give it up to the NFL. They're gonna stick their hand in your pocket some way, one way or another, right?
Well, hopefully they don't stick it in the middle.
It's enough. So we're winding down with the NFL season. We had the Pro Bowl. We talked briefly this weekend about the Pro Bowl, and I watched the game. It's just a glorified walkthrough. Now, it's not a real game anymore. I don't even know why they even play the game. It's not a game. They don't even tackle. They wrap up. They don't want the guys to get hurt. They shouldn't. It's an exhibition in a ridiculous sense of the word. No one understands it. People watch it I think now we're watching it to see how bad it is.
I think the Pro Bowl should just strictly be a skills competition. That's it.
I 100% agree. Yeah. I don't know what kind of skills you can get for. I don't know what kind of skill. What are you doing? What's the ear?
I'm waiting for your gong.
I don't know. Oh, no, it's not yet. The gong of approval was coming to 5 minutes. Very good.
Turn that down just a touch.
Okay.
Yeah, it seemed like that's really the only thing of value with the Pro Bowl, isn't it? Look at now, he doesn't even have the gong. I'm looking for the gong. He doesn't have the damn gong. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it should be. But what kind of skills do you do with the linemen?
I don't know. Who knows? I think it should be running with a piano on their backs.
Or what are those?
Because it already looks like they're running without pianos on their backs.
But I think that some of those guys, I told you earlier in the year when that guy Jason Peters, a left tackle for the Eagles, he's like 35, 36 years old. He was blocking downfield, 30 yards downfield. Right. He's like 330 pounds. It's incredible what the guy does. I mean, those linemen are incredible athletes. They should be
okay. So they're all playing this kind of for money and glory anyway. Why don't they do almost like a postseason combine with full gear on?
I love that.
I think it's a great idea. I mean, look, if you're a pro, if you are the best at your position, right, or if you're one of the best, well, let's get all your times and do all your bonuses and whatever. If you get over certain plateaus for speed or for catching, whatever it is, in full gear. I like that.
Yeah, anything.
Because they open the season in what? In basically just shorts and shoes.
Shorts and a T-shirt and a helmet. That's it. Yeah.
That's it. I want to see them in full gear. Yeah. I think, all right, so the progression is, from hot weather to in the summertime down to the end of the season. Why don't they put them in full gear? I think it's a great idea.
Well, we used to, when we did double sessions at football camp, the guys used to look terrific in the shorts and the T-shirt, with the cleats and the helmet.
So what you're saying is the guys look terrific.
They look terrific running drills.
Whatever.
I mean, what running back could zip through the line untouched, or what guy was catching punts and taking the punts back all the way. And then we used to, they looked like they had all the skill in the world. And then we used to say, wait till the pads get on. Just wait till the pads get on. And that's what separates.
Where was this? Where'd you play at?
Rome Free Academy, upstate New York. We won the Class 4A state championship my junior and senior year. So we had a big time program. 1984, 1985.
That was the Rome that was.
The Rome that was built in a day, yes. The Rome, Rome, New York, 35,000 people.
Round of applause for that.
35,000 people, yes. I'm from the Rome that was built in a day. Very good. Thank you. Thank you very much. We'll give you a round of applause for that. Not going to give a round of applause to the NBA right now. We're having problems with the NBA. I wanted to open with the NBA today because the big news that rivaled opening night of Super Bowl week was Anthony Davis coming out and saying that he's not going to sign that Supermax contract. The Supermax contract is literally 5 years, $240 million guaranteed. He's not going to sign the Supermax contract. He wants to be traded, right? So that's what's happening right now. And of course, his management team is Rich Paul, who's LeBron James' manager. That's
rather convenient for the Lakers now, isn't it?
It's ridiculous.
Right.
It's not that. I mean, the Lakers don't have a leg up to get this guy. They don't have the players to get this guy. Immediately, the Boston Celtics go to the top of the list because they have way more.
And they contend.
They have
because
way more young
really
players.
It's the Knicks that have the most, but they don't contend. Why would you go to a team that's 13 games out of the last playoff spot?
Yeah, the Knicks can't. Well, the other thing is the only way the Knicks can get
then
Anthony
they have
Davis
to bring
is
in
if they
Durant.
trade Porzingis.
Right, which is a big mistake.
Yeah. So, but Boston goes to the top of the list. The only problem is a technicality because Boston has Kyrie Irving, so there's some kind of a legal technicality where they can't get their hands on Anthony Davis until July. So, of course, everyone's saying that best move for New Orleans right now is to wait. The Lakers are going to make some kind of offer, but the Lakers don't have anything. You can take the team, and you're still not getting worth for Anthony Davis. But my big thing is it's not about who you're going to trade him for. My big thing is we talked about this last week. The inmates are running the asylum, and that's what's happening in the NBA. They get guaranteed contracts, and this is the only sport where the players control where they go. They just do. I mean, Davis, and he laid down all of the players that they could trade for and what they have to offer. There's no chance in hell Denver gets Anthony Davis. If Anthony Davis got drafted by the Nuggets and he was playing with the Nuggets for the last 5 or 6 years, he would leave there. Nobody wants to play in Denver. They want to go to Denver. They don't want to. They want to leave these cities. In the NBA, players all about this. We like this league. Michael Jordan played his entire career for the Bulls until he had that cup of tea with the Wizards. But most of these guys played their career on team. Charles Barkley started with Philadelphia, ended up with Phoenix and Houston. It's okay if players move around, but the fact that they can say, "I don't want that $240 million. I want to pick my team," that's not happening in football. Look at baseball. Bryce Harper and Machado can't get an offer. They don't have any power.
A big round of applause for that. I like that.
Okay. All right. Le'Veon Bell sat out a whole season because he can't pick his team. So, right? He sat out for when's the last time you saw an NBA player sitting out a season because he can't pick his team?
Right.
You're right. The NBA is running. The players are running the show.
The league is ruined.
The what is ruined?
The league is ruined.
It's ruined. It's not good right now.
It's not what we know as the NBA.
It's like, so on the way in, I was watching some old clips of the Bulls winning that last championship against the Utah Jazz. That was a great team. That was a great game. Look at Malone and Stockton played 17 and 18 years for the Utah Jazz. Michael and Pippen played their entire careers for the Bulls up to that point, like 10 or 12 years. Those were great teams.
Yeah.
Whatever. The Jazz never won, but it was a great team. We enjoyed it. They played back-to-back NBA finals. What was wrong with that? I don't know. What was wrong with that? That was great basketball, if you ask me. And now I got LeBron coming over to L.A., and LeBron's running the show there.
Well, yeah, of course. And remember I said about him tampering. And again, now, okay, LeBron's camp wants him out. They want Walton out. Who gives a damn what he wants? That to me, that says zero control for the Buss family, zero control for the city of L.A. And so really now they're the fighting LeBrons.
You know what? This is not a surprise to the Lakers and to
it should be a surprise.
No, it's not. They knew what they were getting. They've known LeBron for years. LeBron he orchestrated his move to Miami, and then for some reason he was done with Miami, so he orchestrated his move back to Cleveland,
right.
And then again for some reason he was done with Cleveland. I don't know why he's done with these teams. These teams are all good that he leaves.
I think the teams are done with him.
Well, no, he's leaving these teams. They don't want him to go.
I know.
But so I don't understand.
Come on, it was just fun to say.
Yeah, I don't understand why. Why he wants to leave these teams. It's just whatever. I'm over it. I'm just over. Whatever. LeBron. I went to the Laker game. He didn't play. I'm over it.
There it is. Remember we talked about that too. What if the superstar wants to take a day off? And what if you would have brought your family of and not you, but I'm saying, there was a husband, a wife, a couple of kids, and you spent $1,000 on the game, tickets, parking, food, everything, souvenirs, right? And so now, and what if it was the kid's first game? Well, what is the value of that experience?
Well, I mean, but that's been happening since the beginning of time.
I
got a story.
But it's ironic that he wasn't there.
Remember the old broadcaster for the St. Louis Cardinals, Mike Shannon?
Yeah.
He was a young outfielder for the Cardinals.
Here's
in the 60s.
Two guys not from St. Louis, and we know this.
Okay, yes. Okay, but Shannon was an outfielder for the Cardinals in the late 60s. And so one game they gave Stan Musial's last season as a player, right? Everyone knew it was his last season. They gave him a day off. So Shannon goes out in left field, and he's playing left field. But there was a guy out in the left field bleachers that drove in from Montana. The only game he ever brought his kid to see Stan Musial, and Musial wasn't playing that day. So Shannon said, this guy berated me every inning. I didn't drive 550 miles to see you, you bum. I came here to see Stan the man. So Shannon goes into the dugout, and he's like, Stan, you got to give me something to give this guy. They're killing me out there. So he brought like signed baseballs and signed bats to the guy. But so, I mean, that's been happening since the beginning of time. That I don't necessarily blame LeBron or something for missing that. But I do blame LeBron for playing front office in addition to point guard.
Right.
I'm tired of this now.
Yeah, it's tiring. Oh, and by the way, a big welcome to everybody listening in on iHeartRadio and KSHP 1400 right here in Las Vegas, as well as our Facebook Live listeners, and that includes Luther and Derek and the rest of the gang.
Well, I call him Loyal Listener Luther.
Loyal Listener Luther. Attaboy.
Give Luther a round of applause.
All right.
That's great.
Yes!
That's great.
Give me yes, too. Oh, here.
Yes!
It's even on the board. Yes! Well,
So,
folks,
listen.
by the way, folks, if you want to call in, 702-221-7283, 702-221-7283. Call in right now, 702-221-7283.
But when we answer the phone, we want to hear a yes!
Hey,
And then we'll take your call.
Turn that so I can see it.
Okay.
Attaboy.
All right.
All right, nice. Now I can see it.
Yeah. So the bookmaker and I, we talk during the weekend. I try to get a feel for where Sal's leaning towards some of these picks.
What was I doing all weekend? Where was I?
You were at the casino.
I was at Sportsbook.
Watching money move.
That's it, man.
The guy literally watches money move as if it had little legs and it walks.
Actually, it does.
I know.
The people carry it in. But that's what I was doing all weekend.
Okay, so listen, you mentioned it already in the last couple minutes of the first segment here. I want to mention PlaceYourBet.Vegas. Sal right now is 48-4. He's over 92% since we started the show in November 5th.
And it's all documented, by the way.
That's what I'm heading towards. If you go to our website and you go to our podcasts, you can catch any episode where Sal's given picks and he's 92%. So if you start following his picks, he's only got 4 losses in there since November 5th. Now think about that. Even if he only had 15 wins, it'd still be a great percentage. He's 48-4. So this is what we do here. This is a handicap show in addition to us giving our spin on what happened with the St. Louis Cardinals in the 1960s. I don't know how the heck we know that. We're not that old, guys. You can tell by looking at our pictures. We're not that old.
Here's something pretty funny. So yesterday, I'm in one of the sports books, to be nameless, and I'm asking the manager of the sports book, I'm like, hey, man, do you have any shows that air in this place? He goes, no, not really. I'm like, you may want to consider PlaceYourBet.Vegas. He's like, well, what the hell is that? So I'll tell you what it is. Go to PlaceYourBet.Vegas, click on the podcast, listen to the win predictions, listen to the wins and the after shows, the subsequent shows, and you'll see that I have picked 48 wins against 4 losses in 3 months. He goes, if I knew that was you, I would never let you place a bet in this casino ever again.
Okay, there's the gong of approval as we head out on our first break. That's amazing, buddy.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
All right, folks, we're going to be back here in just a few minutes. Don't go on Place Your Bet.
Okay, lower the music, right? Lower the music.
Yeah, I am plugged.
Okay.
Hey, your buddy, Mark. Ming. Sal. Not bad. You might get whacked. Not in this town, buddy. I know too many people here. That's the good news.
Steve's father was a Wonder Bread truck driver. He ain't gonna whack anybody.
Nobody knows nothing. Hold on a second.
Dude, the guy said he wouldn't let you place bets.
Yeah. Hey, Steve. Hey, guys, hold on a second. We got a special guest coming up here. I got to have Steve dial it in. Hold on. We'll be right back. All right, guys. Sorry about that. All right. Going back in here. Tommy doesn't know that Tom Flores is calling in today. So I gave Tom Flores a call a little while ago, and Tom's going to come on to the show. So if Tommy doesn't know, jackpot. Let's get rid of this freaking cord. Holy spaghetti bowl.
I think Luther starts work at 8 o'clock. I don't know how he's listening.
Maybe Luther's watching because he wants a tip. He wants a tip beforehand. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
So you like our take on an NBA comparing it to football and baseball? Like the NBA is the only place where they
give me Kelly Vegas. I'm gonna do Kelly Vegas right now.
You're gonna do Kelly Vegas now?
Yeah, I'm gonna mix it up.
An American Business Trust Company.
Do it at the second break.
Okay.
$618.76.
That's like a yoga class today.
They can help your business right away. What?
That yoga class today was too hard. Oh my!
The yoga class was too hard.
Dude, you have no.
I wouldn't know, bro.
Push-ups and poses. And...
Oh, here's my promo.
The same old dog and pony show that you've heard all day long. The Sports Circus covers everything that other shows don't or are too scared to cover. There's no primetime show like it on air that'll punch you in the mouth and you'll beg for more. Also, you could call in and participate with our chaos if you dare. Join me and celebrity guests for Havoc and Mayhem weekdays at 5 p.m. here on KSHP 1400. Remember, folks, it's a circus and we prove it every day.
Let me take that.
Just tell me when you want me to
All
fire
right. All right. When I tell you to kill the music, kill it.
Okay.
Okay, folks, welcome back to Place Your Bet. I'm your host. Let's see if I want to know. I'm one of these guys, for Christ's sakes.
Can't help it.
When you do multiple shows, you don't even know anymore. All right, Sal the Bookmaker here, back at Place Your Bet. This segment is brought to you by Kelly Vegas, helping people just like you create and host your very own radio, TV, or multimedia talk show. Kelly Vegas can help you with everything you need to get out of city and hours of traffic every day and host your very own talk show in your very own studio. Call Kelly Vegas right now at 949-445-1119. That's 949-445-1119. Again, 949-445-1119. Or visit them at kellyvegas.com. That's CALI Vegas.com. And tell them Place Your Bet sent you.
Very good there, Bookmaker.
All right, also a big welcome to everybody listening in on iHeartRadio and KSHP 1400 right here in Las Vegas. And all those people watching on Facebook Live. Folks, we have a special guest with us today just because we can, and we do want to take a little bit of time and talk with four-time Super Bowl winner Tom Flores. Thanks for joining us today.
Tom Flores is in the house? Are you serious? Where's Tom Flores?
Hey, Tom. Tom, how are you?
I'm doing fine. How you guys doing?
We're doing great. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Oh, you're welcome.
Hey, Tom, this is Tommy T here. This is fantastic that you're on the phone with us, man. This is big for us. Four-time Super Bowl champion.
Well, look, come on. You won in Kansas City, right, as a quarterback, and then you've got the coaching.
Yep.
I
was assistant coach with John Manzi, his Super Bowl, and then a coach in Oakland in Super Bowl 15. My second year as coach, and then again in L.A. Super Bowl 18.
Yes, I remember that. I'm sure you've been asked this question a million times, but
don't ask it.
How the heck did you revive Jim Plunkett's career?
Well, he did a lot of it. We gave him the opportunity. We gave him the rest. We let him come along slowly. There was no immediate need. When we signed him, he was a free agent, and he had just been cut by the 49ers. So I worked him out, and we signed him. John Madden's last year, and just let him rest and let him get his confidence back, let him get his health back, and so he sat behind Stabler in 1979, and in 1980 we traded Stabler, and then eventually he replaced Pastorini as a quarterback, and the mojo was back, his health was back, his confidence was back. And he took us to the Super Bowl as a wild card the hard way.
Yeah, very exciting. So, Tom, look, you tell your stories. You've got great stories. One of my favorite stories is one of the ones that you had mentioned
It was after your last Super Bowl win. How you said you just went back to the hotel afterwards and you're watching the guys celebrate on TV?
Well, I went back to the hotel to relax a little bit, and then first thing I did, went to the hotel. I called my mom and dad, and my brother. My brother was there. He was in Tampa. I went and called my mom and dad, just visited with them, and then I headed out for the party after catching my breath. It's hard to catch your breath after a big game like that. You haven't come down yet.
Well, this is fantastic. You know, there's another interview that you had after you left the Raiders. You went up and you were the coach of the Seattle Seahawks for a short time, right? That was after a long tenure with the Raiders. And you had one of the best lines I've ever seen in an interview. You said, I worked for the Raiders for years, and everyone called us the renegade organization, and we took all the troublemakers. And you go to Seattle, and the general manager got arrested for murder.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was a witness. He was the interim general manager until I took over for him. I was up there to interview for his job, and then he left when I got there, and then I came in. They read me my rights, and I said, "What the heck's going on here?"
That was, and you said that it was just a simple statement you had in an interview. I don't even know if you might have been on Roy Firestone's show. I don't even know who was interviewing you then, but just that was that one simple line that just struck me funny, because I've known forever how the Raiders were always regarded. I know that you guys used to take, Ted Hendricks and Lyle Alzado, and you had all the guys that, like other teams didn't want. You're famous for taking players and then putting them in championship games.
Right. It was sort of like the Island of Misfit Toys.
Yeah. Well, we did take a few guys that were take no prisoners type of guys, but they usually fit in pretty good. They blended with the rest of the group.
Well, you always had the I thought the perfect demeanor for that kind of team. I mean, you always seemed so calm and you even had John Matuzak. I mean, you had so many characters on that team, and you just seemed like you were the guy that steered the ship. And and when it came down to game time, you always had everybody ready to go.
Well, they brought the program. They saw that we had a good team and they had a chance to play good football, and that's what everybody wants, just a chance to be with a good team. Most everybody, all the players, and even though there was a few wild and reckless guys there, we gave them enough rope to have their freedom. But when it came time to play ball, they knew how to play ball, and they played it well. And we would win games, and that's what they were looking for, and that's what they got when they came to us. And of course, if they got really out of line, then they had to pull the strings in a little bit and bring them in and calm them down, or if it didn't work out, then we had to send them on their way. But guys like Matuzak and Alzado, they fit in, and they helped us win.
Yeah, and they were great players, obviously. I mean, before you got them, and they were great with you guys. I have a question for you now. I mean, obviously, with the way the NFC Championship game ended last week, it was very, very controversial with the last play, and of course, everyone's talking about it. I mean, I know you've seen some crazy plays that you've seen some bad referee calls along the way with you. Have you ever seen a reaction like this to a bad referee call? Is this something out of the norm, or is this referee call, if this bad call, this no call, was that bad that it's warranted?
Well, you're talking about the interference.
Yeah, the penalty that wasn't called.
It's plays like that got instant replay involved years back when Pittsburgh and Houston were playing, and it was a playoff game. A very exciting game. I'm trying to think, was it a touchdown, no touchdown, or fumble, no fumble?
It was a touchdown where Renfro caught the pass in the back of the end zone. That white guy Renfro, he had both feet in bounds with the ball, and they called it an incomplete pass. Yeah,
and so that was decided. And then from there, developed the instant replay conversations, and they got more serious. But with a flagrant foul like this it was pretty obvious. It was pass interference, not even close. But there wasn't an official in position, I guess, to see the actual play in its entirety, and that's what they have to see. It's an entirety, and it's a sequence of a sideline judge and back judge. That one turns it over to the other, and somebody should have seen it, but they didn't. Otherwise, they would have questioned. They would have huddled up, but they didn't. And because we got to see it back in slow motion over and over and over, and so did the people at the Superdome. They got to see it, and I would be furious myself, but I don't know what they're going to do. But they're certainly going to discuss it a lot this off season, and I don't think I would hate to see them start officiating with instant replay. I wouldn't like that.
Yeah, that would be a big mess. Folks, we're here with Tom Flores, 4-time Super Bowl champion, here on Place Your Bet. Hey, Tom, let me ask you, moving forward past all this no-call nonsense, I mean, let's face it, targeting should have been called. It doesn't matter. It's done. It's over with. Moving on, let's talk about your trip to Atlanta. Now, they're bringing the 15 guys over, and you're one of the 15 guys. Give everybody a quick refresher course as to what that is.
Well, they bring us in, 15 guys. They bring us in. We have a dinner, get-together, not a dinner, just a get-together on Thursday night with all the 15, and plus, I guess, some of the other inducted players that are already in the Hall of Fame and guests and so on Thursday night. And then Friday, we have a luncheon with all the Gold Jackets that are in town. And then Saturday, we have... Saturday afternoon, we have to wait in our room and wait for a knock on the door if we're selected or if we're not selected. And it's kind of like a quiz game or something.
Well, Tom, listen. That's your knock on the door, buddy. It's coming. It's long overdue. You've been in line for a long time. It should have happened a long time ago. Look how long it took Jerry Kramer to get his. You should have been there a long time ago. And so I think you're going to get that knock.
You got my vote.
Well, I agree.
I think you're a Hall of Fame. I absolutely think you're a Hall of Fame coach, and you belong in the Hall for sure. You get my vote. I don't have one yet, but I'll get one someday. You get my vote.
Well, you know, Tom, we've been pushing the agenda on the Sports Circus for a long time, and we did it on the other show that was based out of Anaheim Stadium, the one that you and I worked with previously. And I got to tell you what, after watching some of the people that have been brought in, some of the people that have been passed over, there's no sense, there's no rhyme or reason as to why you should have been passed over, frankly, for so many years. It makes no sense. I think this is your year, amigo.
Well, I certainly hope so, and I hope you're right. I appreciate all the help you've given me way back, started in Anaheim that day that we met, and it's an exciting time in my life, and it'll be even more exciting if I'm elected into the Hall. For myself, my friends, fans, family, it's a lifetime dream. I mean, you know, it's not an easy thing to do or to accomplish during your lifetime. So I'm very privileged and excited about it. So we'll have to see.
Yes, I think it's going to happen. And go ahead, Tommy. I know you had a quick question because Tom doesn't have too much time left.
Is there any possibility that after you get this selection to the Hall, you would come out of retirement and take over the Raiders again if there's a need?
Right here in Las Vegas.
Would you be the Raiders coach? Because, I mean, Mr. Gruden's not off to a very good start, Tom.
Well, he's been away for a while. You got to give him a little slack, and plus they kind of traded away their present for their future. So we have to wait and see on how the trade. They have 5 number 1 draft choices in the next 2 years, and whether they can build the future with that group.
Now, Tom, you were just out here a week ago, and you went by the new stadium, the skeleton of the new stadium. What are your thoughts on what you've seen so far compared to some of the other new stadiums that are out there?
Well, it's impressive. You know, I've seen the renderings of the final stadium, but when you see the actual stadium itself going up and the pieces starting to fit together, it's exciting. It's reality. It's a great location. It's going to be a marvelous stadium, and so I'll be excited for them when they get in there in 2020. We got another year to go, but it'll be exciting when they come to town.
Well, you know, I'm kind of curious as to see if the Raiders are possibly even seriously entertaining the idea of playing in London next season as their home.
Well, I don't think that's possible. They're going to play one game there. They have the last 2 years, 3 years, but not an entire season there. That would be ridiculous because our division is on the West Coast. Denver and Kansas City and the Los Angeles Chargers. And that's a long way to go for just a league game. It's not bad for one a year where you have a bye after you come back from that game. But, boy, I tell you, that's a killer. I don't know. Right now, they're up in the air on that one. I haven't heard much on where they're going to be.
Well, Tom, you still call the Raiders games?
No, I don't. I stopped last year. I stopped doing the color on radio after 21 years, and I just did some PR stuff for the Raiders at home games and a couple of things on away games, and a couple of radio stuff.
Well, you should have been on there, Tom.
Yeah, we give a boo for not having you on the telecast because I'm from L.A. and I've been in Vegas and L.A. for the last 25 years, and I've always listened to you call the games. Always thought you did a fantastic job over the years. So we wish you were coming here, calling the games in the new Vegas stadium. Well,
I appreciate it. I miss being part of the game. I'm still at the games, to the home games, and some away games. But when you're not part of the game, which is announcing, I put myself in the game and I was announcing, you're part of the game. But when you're just a spectator, to be honest with you, it gets kind of boring.
Well, that's how it is for us, unfortunately. We don't get to get in the booth, unfortunately, like you. But let's face it, man, you've earned your spot in the booth. You've certainly earned yourself a spot in the hall, and I want to see you wearing that gold jacket a little bit later this year.
Well, I certainly hope so. I'm looking forward to this week. We're leaving Wednesday morning. We're leaving for Atlanta, and hopefully when I come back next Monday, I'll be I'll have a big smile on my face.
Okay, well, this is Tommy T and Sal the Bookmaker with the great Tom Flores, the coach of the Raiders, and he's waiting for the knock on the door for his Hall of Fame selection. And we got a good thought for you, Tom. Big round of applause for you. And we thank you for appearing on the show with us. This is our biggest guest to date on Place Your Bet, and we really appreciate your time.
No, you're quite welcome. You guys be good, and I'll see you down the road.
Sounds great, Tom. We'll be talking to you soon. Thanks again.
Thank you, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
All right, a big round of applause for Tom Flores. All right. All right, wow. How do you feel? You feel like you've just given birth or what?
That was fantastic.
I wanted to surprise you and bring somebody on the show.
Because you're looking over my head and you're looking past me, and I know you always got something going on, right? Listen, I bring you a chocolate bar, you bring me Tom Flores. That's not fair.
Well, you didn't know I was bringing Tom, and I didn't know you were bringing me a chocolate bar.
This is the best. This is. I always get the better end of it here, but no, listen, I wasn't kidding. I've always thought that he's a fantastic coach. I've always thought he'd done a fantastic job with that team, and if I had a vote, he's in the Hall of Fame.
I talked to Tom earlier today. I just want to make sure he was going to come on. Hey, folks, make sure you come back with us in just a couple of minutes. It's a short break. Don't go anywhere. A big thanks for Tom Flores joining us here on Place Your Bet. Back in a few.
That was great. That was great.
Surprise, surprise.
You know what? I knew you knew him. I knew we'd get him on, right?
I talk to Tom all the time.
But he's let me tell you something. He knows the game. He could coach right now.
Dude, he's Santa Claus. He's one of my favorite people in all sports.
Yeah, he's great.
I have no other person in sports that I admire more than him. I've worked with him, and he mentioned it. I've worked with him in the past. And we remain good friends.
Yeah, he said that you kicked off the conversation about him being in the Hall. Well, the other thing, I wasn't kidding when I used to watch those great Raiders teams. I always thought that he had the perfect mindset for that team. He was always calm, always under control, and he had so many characters.
By the way, you're doing American business.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, by the way, folks, tune in at 5 o'clock tomorrow. Go to thesportcircus.com. Or you could tune in right here in Las Vegas if you're here, or in LA on KCAA, in Chicago WCGO, in Honolulu at CBS Sports, in Buffalo and Toronto on Fox Sports WLVL 1340 or 105.3, or in Southern Alabama or in Florida. I've got Ronnie Nunn, 5-year NBA league officiating director and 19-year referee from the NBA. He's going to be on tomorrow at 5 o'clock Pacific time. TheSportsCircus.com. Stream it. It'll open up a streamer. Hey, thanks, Steve. Appreciate it. All right, here's Steve. Hey, there's Statmaster Steve. Statomatic. Attaboy. Atsomatic.
Okay, this is the Tony Bennett one, right?
Yeah, it's Tony. All right, it's a short one. Hey, did you listen with Tom?
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Tom Flores, huh? How great is that?
Yes! All right, here we go.
What did I ask him? I asked him the thing about the thing from murder.
Oh, that was funny.
He started laughing. He's like, I was a witness.
That was hilarious.
Like he goes to Seattle, coaches Seattle, and the general manager's indicted for murder.
I know.
That's why I saw the interview when he said that.
Right.
I remember that from
It's
25 years ago.
fucking hilarious. All right, here we go.
All right. Welcome back to Place Your Bet, everybody. Tommy T here with Sal the Bookmaker, and we have Stevie Slapshot in here, too.
We got Statmaster Steve.
Maybe we're talking some hockey. This segment is brought to you by the American Business Trust Company, helping your company with business strategy, sales and marketing, capital resources, and establishing your company with a physical location or on the internet. You decide. You bring the idea, and the American Business Trust Company can help with the rest. Visit them online at abtrustco.com. That's ABTRUSTCO.com, or call 657-600-1876. That's the American Business Trust Company, 657-600-1876. Call them today. They can help your business right away. Yes! Yes! So we got Steve on, another good guest. We always enjoy Steve showing up in the show.
Steve's
Thank
our
you very
resident
much.
Statmaster Steve.
You know, and so in the first segment, maybe you heard we were talking about the NBA and how Sal and I are not very happy with the NBA.
Nor
and
am
I know you're not a fan to begin with, so I'd love to get your take on Anthony Davis coming out. He didn't really come out and say it, but somehow the word's out that he doesn't want to play for the New Orleans Pelican no fly anymore.
Well, he got his agent to say it.
Yeah, Rich Paul.
So essentially, he said it.
I know. Which
Who works for who? Money.
No, it's fine. But he wanted to say it, but he doesn't want to take any of the responsibility for it. So my agent will say it.
That's right.
Yeah, and they're always concerned about their PR because, like we were talking about, before these guys even enter the NBA, they have these gigantic sneaker deals. So there's these kids, when they're 17 and 18 years old, they're already image conscious. They're already thinking about PR long before they get into their career.
As kids, we never call them sneakers.
That's the East Coast
gym
thing.
shoes.
Yeah. No, I always called them sneakers from New York. They were
always
sneaks.
gym shoes for me.
Yeah.
I always called them tennis shoes.
Yeah,
They're
well,
always
West
called tennis
Coast.
shoes.
You're West Coast.
Yeah.
West Coast of Boston.
Yeah.
What happened to you?
No,
Were
New
you
York.
were you sneaking around?
Yeah, we called them sneaks. Yeah, they were sneakers for us. I still call them sneaks. Everyone's just like,
Really?
sneakers? What?
I know, exactly. Thanks, 1980.
Tennies.
1912.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
what are you going to do? So I call them what I call them,
I know.
right?
Tommy, it goes back to high school now with these kids, especially the basketball
No,
players.
that's what
They're
I'm
thinking
saying.
about their image already in high school.
So that's what I'm saying, and that's why the one and done is a terrible rule because basically they can't sign their shoe deal or their apparel deal until they go in the pros.
Their sneaker deal.
Yeah. So whatever. I mean, that's it. Anyway, I mean, Anthony Davis isn't a bad guy. Like I'll say these guys aren't bad guys, but they have so much power. And we talked briefly about how Bryce Harper and Machado are the two big free agents in baseball. They're not even getting an offer. They don't have any power.
You know why they're not getting an offer is because their only offers they're going to get are half of what they're looking for because they only play halftime anyway. I mean, look at Machado. I mean, he only plays half the game in his mind. I mean, the guy's lollygagging half the game. So why not just pay him half of what he's looking for?
But, I mean, Anthony Davis is injury prone. He's never played even close to a full season. He has a lot of nagging injuries. He's an amazing talent. He's averaging 29 points a game and 13 rebounds a game. He's a fantastic talent. I love watching a guy play.
He's only like 25, too.
Yeah, he's 25 years old.
Yeah.
He's injury prone. Listen, Kawhi Leonard, he played, 4 games last year for San Antonio? And we don't even know what the injury was. And I heard someone say...
It was the Phantom!
I heard someone say that they've never seen a guy miss an entire year and not have a surgery. Like he didn't have any surgery. He didn't have any serious injury.
Okay, wait a minute.
He missed a whole year.
Well, let's hold that thought for a second. So one time, I remember I rolled my ankle just playing a one-on-one game, waiting for everybody else to show up, and I completely rolled it upside down. My foot turned on the perimeter. It was it was solid black. I tore everything, but I didn't break anything. No surgeries. And this is something that happened.
Did you miss the year, though? That's the point.
I couldn't put a shoe on for 5 months.
Okay. Well, so
all I'm
so
saying
Sal,
is
super athlete Sal.
But no. This was 21 years ago.
I've done the same thing.
No, I remember
We've
this.
all blown it. We've all had a blowout with our ankle, right?
21 years ago, for 5 months, I could not put a shoe on. I'm serious.
Well, sounds great. Listen, I appreciate Sal. I'm going to give you applause for that. You just fell short of a gong of approval. That's a fantastic.
But it's
love
true.
That.
You can miss a season or whatever.
That wasn't my point. Was
that's where I was going with it.
My point was he played a handful of games for San Antonio last year, whined his way out of there, and now he's in Toronto. He's not going to stay in Toronto. He's going to be a free agent. He bought a $13 million house in Southern California. This is Kawhi Leonard we're talking about. These players...
Yeah, but that's dropping a bucket for him.
No, but they have so much power that they're just picking their teams.
Right.
So Minnesota Timberwolves, like someone mentioned on the way in today, I was listening to the radio, another guy was mentioning that there's a possibility that Anthony Davis can go to the Denver Nuggets. Was he nuts? Anthony Davis is never going to Denver.
Nuggets?
Anthony Davis isn't going to Denver. Are you kidding? There's no way. Listen, I know. There's no way. There's no way that guy's ending up in Denver.
You know what I like about the whole thing, Tommy, though, is that the ownerships of these teams now are taking into consideration injuries and what the guy does in the locker room.
That's what they should be doing anyway.
And they should have been doing it a long time ago.
But they are in baseball. I don't think they're doing it in basketball yet. I think that they still get their way.
Well, they're throwing money around like mad. It's unbelievable.
They have ridiculously guaranteed contracts in the NBA. He's going to turn down a 5-year, $240 million deal.
Listen, people that listen to this show, people that are here in Vegas, for the most part, they can't even conceptualize what this kind of money is because it would take them 100 years to make a fraction of that contract. They can't even figure out what the hell you're talking about. This is why I typically don't talk about money figures, because all it does, number one, it pisses people off. Number two, it's something that they can't grip. They just don't know that number. There's too many zeros.
No, I know, but I mean, it's in the first paragraph of the article. So like, that's what I'm seeing.
Omit that piece.
And I don't know. I've had enough of what ain't right. What did Danny Glover say in Silverado? I've had enough of what ain't right. Like, I'm done. Forget about it.
I completely agree with you.
What's wrong with the Pelicans? They got a good coach, Elvin Gentry. They got Drew Holiday. What's wrong with the Pelicans?
So sometimes you got to take a step back to take a couple forward.
Yeah.
So they're going through a growing period. They're
not a bad team.
You talked about the NHL. What are the Philadelphia Flyers doing? They got rid of a good general manager. They got rid of a good coach. And now, I don't know what kind of...
Now it's run amok!
They're absolutely going to run amok. If they had just kept the thing together, they have a bad season this year.
They had a good core.
They have a good core.
The great general manager is that Ron Hextall you're talking about?
Ron Hextall, yeah.
Ron Hextall was a good general manager?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was good.
Because he was keeping Hart in
he never traded for Devin Dubnyk, though. So how good could he be?
Devin Dubnyk was making snow angels.
How good could he be?
On Sunday or Saturday.
Because here's the deal. They've got this Corey Hart in the AHL who's a great young goaltender. They don't need Dubnyk. Because they got
Not everybody needs Dubnyk.
But the ownership wants Hart to play this year. For what? I don't know. Hextall says, let's let him grow in the AHL a little bit, and let's bring him up with some seasoning. We're not doing anything this year anyway.
Hextall would know how to develop a goalie too, wouldn't he?
Yes.
One would think.
Yes,
exactly.
One would think for sure.
So now the ownership has blown up what was a good thing in Philadelphia, and now they're going to have to start all over, right, Sal?
Right. And we're starting to see the same kind of blueprint in Chicago as well. The Hawks are doing that with Stan Bowman is doing the same crap over there. And they should fire Stan Bowman. Rocky Wirtz needs to fire Stan Bowman and bring back Coach Q. But Q's going to end up more than likely in Pittsburgh. That's what I heard from my contact in the NHL.
Okay.
That's
interesting.
I want to backtrack real quick. What do you mean Dubnyk was doing snow angels? What does that mean?
Dude,
is that a thing?
Please explain it to him.
Explain a snow angel.
So he's laying on the ice, giving you this.
No, I know what that is,
up,
but how does it relate to the NHL?
Because
like he was missing the puck, you mean?
No.
He was doing everything but standing on his eyelids to block the puck. Arms were flailing, all kinds of mayhem. He had body parts flying everywhere.
That's why I asked that question. I wanted to know. I wanted you to specify.
It's like when they stack the pads. I love when they stack the pads.
Okay.
Right. Move to the side. Both feet go up. Stack them up. That's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You know what?
Yes.
You're getting close, Sal. You're getting close to the gong of approval. You're getting really close. Keep going. I tell you, he's on the cusp.
Good for Q and good for Pittsburgh. I think that's a good move if they pick him up.
Well, that's what Bill Clement told me about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
He said if Pittsburgh has a really quick first-round exit, That's going to be Q's job because he wants a team with players that largely are ready to win. And they still have some guys on the blue line that are good enough, I think, to at least cover 2 lines worth or 4 guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, there's people there. And they have people in Wilkes-Barre, too.
They got people.
When you say guys on the blue line, are you referring to the defensemen? Are those the guys on the blue line? Okay.
Right.
For those of us that aren't as schooled in hockey, that's what on the blue line means, right? Okay.
Right.
But what I kept hearing was Q to Philadelphia. I'm thinking, why in the world would he go to Philadelphia?
No, that's a dumpster fire.
Exactly.
There's no reason for him to go there.
Exactly.
Listen, I got the place for Q. L.A. The Kings.
That
the
sewer
Kings
pit
need the Q.
They need that team is aging. Those guys, there's a lot of guys in their 30s. They're going to have to roll all those old guys out of that roster and do a complete rebuild.
Absolutely.
Kopitar's on a downslide?
Oh, yeah.
He's 31 and he's done.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what about Doughty?
Dowdy's young enough.
Doughty's going to stick around.
I doubt that.
No, Doughty's going to be part of the change. They've got 2 very good young goaltenders. This Peterson out of Notre Dame.
Yeah, Peterson's pretty good.
And Campbell.
Yeah. I think goaltending wise they're okay. The problem is as the defensemen are getting older. I mean, really, who do you got? You got Forbert. You had Muzzin's now with the Maple Leafs, and you've got Donuts, and that's basically it.
That's it, man.
Did they just trade Muzzin to the Maple Leafs in the last month or so?
Today.
Okay, well, like I said, the last month or so.
Yeah.
That's what so.
Or so, right, exactly.
Let me tell you something.
I see what you did there.
I'm giving both Sal and Steve the Gong report.
He's doling about today.
Let me tell you something. This is the best hockey talk you're going to get on a show anywhere around. You guys know your stuff.
Well, Steve's a hockey veteran for decades.
Yeah,
I mean, this guy knows his
fantastic.
stats. That's why I call him Statmaster Steve and Statomatic and whatever you want to call him.
That's a great pickup by Toronto.
That's
what
a tremendous
they needed.
pickup. You got a good stay-at-home defenseman over there, and that's exactly what they need because let's face it, when Matthews and Marner are running in,
right,
you know what's going to happen. That leaves the defense a little bit shallow, but this guy is going to be backpedaling, and he'll be back in there guarding home plate.
And let me tell you, this was an incredible pivot that you did from basketball to hockey. I loved how you did that. Like you pivoted like Kevin McHale. I mean, that was a perfect step here, step there,
smooth
boom.
transition.
That was excellent.
And unlike the basketball players of today, I kept my pivot foot.
Yes, that's right. You didn't take 14 steps before you shot the ball.
You know what's a great show is Shaqtin' a Fool. They always show the traveling.
Shaq's great.
I love
great.
Shaq. Shaqtin' a Fool. You ever seen that show?
Shaq's ridiculous.
They do a ding, 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 ding every time a guy moves his pivot foot. Some guys literally have taken 6 steps, and the referee doesn't call a traveling. We're going to get
wait
Ronnie
till
Nunn
tomorrow. Yeah, when Ronnie Nunn's on tomorrow, I'm going to ask about the 45
Yes.
steps. Basically, going the length of the court without dribbling the ball. They don't have to.
Yes.
You know, they were wondering why Klay Thompson scored 48 points and he dribbled the ball 4 times. You don't have to anymore.
Right.
Why you got to just run to the basket?
But I don't think he was traveling, though.
I know,
I
but
think
still.
he was shooting.
No, I know. No, I'm just saying. But in general, I mean, all they got to do is run to the basket.
You know who travels? LeBron travels. Now that you mention it,
Everybody travels.
LeBron he does 3 steps.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely does.
And he throws elbows, by the way.
throws
elbows.
Tommy asked me to provide 5 examples of LeBron using his elbows. Just 5. And I provided him over 40 in 1 hour.
Yeah, but so many of them weren't fouls. I mean, you reached. Out of those 40, there were 5. You gave me 5. You gave me 5
in one video.
Dude, you sent me
Get outta
one. You
here.
sent me one of his highlight reels. There was like an 8-minute highlight reel. It was fantastic. In
Well,
the middle of
highlights,
that.
yeah, the highlights are great. When
Yeah,
you're throwing
there was
elbows,
no-
hitting people
no,
in
but
the
he wasn't
face,
throwing
you're hitting
elbows
him in
in
the
the
chest,
highlights.
you're hitting him in the stomach. Oh my God, this guy, he cheats left and right. It doesn't
Apparently,
matter.
you've never watched a guy named Kobe Bryant or a guy named Michael Jordan. They threw and pushed all along too. I mean,
They didn't do
he
what this
plays
guy
just like-
does.
he played just like them.
They didn't do what this
do you mean,
guy
Michael
does.
Jordan? We just talked about this. Michael
one
Jordan's
play.
last play.
Yeah, his last play.
Oh, that was the only time he ever did it.
Why
That
are we
was the only
talking
time
about
he ever
him?
pushed it.
Look at how he changes direction off of LeBrick over to Michael Jordan.
LeBron is horrible.
That's not a reasonable comparison.
No.
I want you to, if you don't mind, ask Ronnie Nunn where he think it started.
Why don't you call in and ask him?
Okay, because I think it started with Jordan, and Jordan was a great
Oh, that's
basketball
why the
player.
Jordan
I
rules.
love Jordan. Okay, but when he first started, they didn't let him get away with that
No.
stuff. And as his career went along,
They did let him get away with it. Yes,
Right,
I
it
know.
was-
I hated that.
Those were the Jordan rules.
and he didn't need it.
No, he didn't need it. Like James doesn't need it either. He's so big and strong. He doesn't have to do this stuff. But the problem is
I was
James.
shocked at the first pork chop elbow. I did see it.
James literally runs over people, and what he'll do is he'll drop the shoulder, move elbow out,
I
and
gotta tell
clears
you, though,
out.
I like the way he plays. I mean, at least he plays hard. One thing about James is he plays
I'm
hard.
not saying he doesn't play
Yeah,
hard.
I like
he
the way he plays.
he pork chops everybody.
He pork chops everyone. You know what? Tell him to get a life and get tough.
Get a life and get tough. There you go.
So the state of the NBA is not in good shape right now.
To me, it's just unwatchable, and it's the same with college now.
Everybody
it used
I know
to be
has the
that
same
college
opinion.
stinks.
Everybody says that about the NBA. It's just not watchable. It's the same garbage in, garbage out every day. It's the same crap.
Yeah.
And they don't run plays
There's no
anymore.
suspense. No, they don't play.
There's no pick and roll. There's no screening whatsoever. The four guys
Well, you'll
go to
see
one
a high
side of the
screen.
court and they do a one-on-one.
Well, you'll see a high screen and that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
I think what you're talking about mainly is James Harden and Russell Westbrook. They're ISOs. It's big ISO offense.
But most
The
teams
isolation.
are like that,
Most
though.
teams are doing that now.
Not the Golden State Warriors.
Well,
They don't
the
have
Warriors don't have
ISO
to.
players.
No, the Warriors, everybody touches the ball.
They don't. They play like the 73 Knicks. They play like these great teams. They don't have isolation type players.
No, because everyone touches the ball on the Warriors.
But
that's why the only team that are going to be the Warriors are the Warriors.
But I've been watching James Harden. I told Sal this last week. For the last few weeks, last month, James Harden's playing great ball. He's averaging 45 points a game. He's shooting.
When you take 400 shots a game, it's what happens.
No, but he's playing great ball. I don't like his style. We talked about this. He takes 4 steps back to the 3-point line, but you can't. I mean, listen. The results are the results. The only guy that averaged more than Harden is Wilt Chamberlain when he averaged 50 points a game that one year.
Hey, I'm going to propose something here. I think that everybody, look, if there is a player, a supersonic great player, whatever, a guy like Wilt Chamberlain, a guy like Jordan, a guy like Magic, you should take these numbers and retire the numbers on every team.
That's a great, like Jackie Robinson, like they did in baseball, right?
On every team, exactly. This way, nobody else wears the 23, nobody else wears the 13, nobody else, this kind of thing. I like that idea because then you're giving a tribute to the player from the league's standpoint. I like that idea. What do you think, Statmaster Steve?
Eventually, we're going to run out of numbers, though.
No, they can go to the hundreds. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the 142.
Right,
Star point guard.
because maybe the first
Villanova,
12
1,024 drives to the basket.
Right, exactly. 10-24 drives to the basket. He shoots and scores.
Listen, we've been talking about basketball a lot. I was watching a UCLA game the other night. Bill Walton was on the game, and then Kareem Abdul-Jabbar came in. And we forget, he should be in the conversation for greatest player ever.
Why wouldn't he be?
Well, he's not, but he's not often, though. When we talk about the greatest ever, they always talk about
He's got the greatest
Michael
shot in
Jordan.
the game. The
They talk about
Sky
Michael
Hope was
Jordan.
untouchable.
Well, and also the rebounding, the defense. I mean, he was an amazing player for 20 years.
And how about the specs?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, right. I like that.
They were like the frog goggles,
The
right?
goggles, yeah.
Right, I like that.
They
No,
were
but
really
I mean,
good.
but Kareem isn't mentioned often in the same breath as a Michael
well,
Jordan.
you know why? You know why? It's because of Wilt. Plain and simple, because of Wilt.
But yeah, I know
Wilt was the guy.
Wilt was the guy. But by the time Kareem came into the league, Wilt already slipped down. Kareem never got to face the top talent of Wilt or the top talent of Bill Russell. They
Right.
both
Well, unfortunately,
were done.
Wilt came before him.
Yeah,
It's
the
just like,
60s.
Jordan came before
Kareem
Kobe.
was the 70s.
Same kind of thing, right?
Yeah. But I still say that he should be part of the conversation for best ever.
He should
And
be
that's
part
my
of the
thing.
he
Yeah,
should be part
I
of the
think he
conversation.
certainly should be one of those top 10 guys, period.
This show is going to be in the conversation for best ever so far for Place Your Bet. You've done a fantastic job, Sal. You got us Tom Flores, and you got a Steve Slapshot here. You did a great job today, Sal. Give it up.
Thank you very much.
I got to give you another chocolate bar.
All right, folks, and thanks for joining us here on Place Your Bet. Make sure you check us out at placeyourbet.vegas as well. What? Maybe there might be a free pick later this week. Back tomorrow. So long, everyone. All right, here we go.
That's great. Yeah, Steve.
All right, good stuff. Good stuff. Let me change this.
Let's get this down.
All right, and that is all for Place Your Bet today. Go to placeyourbet.vegas. Check us out. Lots of good information there. And remember, pick up one of those subscriptions. 48 against 4 losses. 48-4. Yes, believe it, it's real. That is all. We'll see you next time.
28.